Here, bro. Peace out.
In this city, and I think, there's already been so much time, effort put in by so many people that, aren't going to get credit for what they did to bring All-Star here. So, trying to make it the best All-Star the WNBA has ever had. I know we'll certainly do that, but also, it is certainly a cool.
Watch her body language closely. CaitlinClark just finished her first full-team USA practice in North Carolina, and something feels different. The way she moves, the way she talks about managing her injury day to day. This isn't the worn-down rookie we saw last summer. She's had 3 months to reset and rebuild, and it shows. She looks confident, steady, and fully in control again. The footage coming out of this Team USA camp hints at a version of CaitlinClark the league may not have expected to see return so soon.
Hey, shooters, Scott. Dang. So right there, Caitlin's shot looked like it's back, y'all. I mean, she ain't even jumping for real. Now, I don't think this was a 3 either. Nope, it wasn't. This looked like a mid-range shot. But overall, her form looked great.
There it is. That release. The quick, effortless motion that made her the most exciting shooter college basketball has ever seen. The commentator in that clip nailed it. This looks like the real Caitlin, not the version that struggled through her rookie year. Here's what most people aren't discussing. Before entering the WNBA, CaitlinClark added noticeable muscle. The idea made sense. She needed strength to handle contact, take hits, and survive the physical play veterans warned her about. But that extra muscle came at a cost. It changed her shooting rhythm. Her release slowed. Her range became less reliable. Those deep logo threes that once felt automatic suddenly stopped falling. Now watch the Team USA practice footage again. She's relaxed. She's not forcing shots or jumping into them. That smooth, natural motion from her Iowa days is back. And it's back because she finally had time to reset and return to the body and shooting form that made her special.
But I'm just saying, bruh, when it comes to Sophie Cunningham, the people got her numbers, and they know that she's one of the ones, man. Now, with all of that being said, we ain't gonna waste no time, man. We're gonna head on over to the WNBA Twitter account, because I almost was trying to make a video about this, because the WNBA, I don't know what, like, they just been posting these clips of Team USA, and they really haven't been posting Caitlin. I just gotta be honest. So this was the clip right here that just came.
Sophie Cunningham ranked 8th on the list of most Googled athletes in 2023, and she was the only WNBA player to make it. One commentator is now making a bold statement. Sophie is the second biggest star in the league, right behind Caitlin. Some people won't like that claim, but let's stick to the facts. Search data doesn't lie. Social media numbers don't lie. Sophie Cunningham draws attention, sparks debate, and gets people talking in a way most WNBA players don't. Like her or not, she has impact. But here's the part that really matters. Around Indiana, there's a sense that Fever fans weren't on her side last season. Her physical style, the on-court clashes, and the way she went at Caitlin didn't sit well. That tension didn't stay quiet. It played out in public, and a relationship clearly cooled.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Anytime you get on the JW in Indianapolis, like, that's a big deal. Good, thanks.
What do you feel like is a positive tweet?
A positive what? Sorry. Trait. I think just adversity in itself. Like, nobody said this season was going to be perfect for us. There's always going to be ups and downs, and I think as we get moving here and get to All-Star, then get through All-Star, like, these are the moments that we're going to look back on and hopefully be able to, give a lot of credit to for certain situations that we were put in, for, injuries, or, coach it not being here for a couple games too. Like, everybody's been through a little bit of adversity here. So I think just giving our group credit for being able to stick together and, know that whatever's in our locker room is really all we need to go out there and win. And I'm honestly just really proud of our group every single day. Like,
Sophie Cunningham ranked 8th on the list of most Googled athletes in 2023, and she was the only WNBA player to make it. One commentator is now making a bold statement. Sophie is the second biggest star in the league, right behind Caitlin. Listen closely to how Caitlin talks about adversity here. She praises her teammates for sticking together through injuries, coaching absences, and constant adjustments. What stands out is what she doesn't mention. She avoids the media chaos. She skips the debates about race and popularity. She doesn't touch the fact that her rookie season turned into a cultural fight that had little to do with basketball. That response is textbook media training. Stay positive. Credit the team. Keep it about the game. Don't step on landmines. It's the smart approach, but it also shows how carefully she has to choose every word. That kind of pressure is draining. No rookie should have to carry that mental load while learning a new system, adjusting to a faster league, and facing defenders who've spent months studying her every move.
Well, I'm telling you right now, this weekend was pretty decent, man. CaitlinClark returned back to the basketball court, and I'm telling you right now, from the little snippets of clips we was able to see, she looked like her old self again, man. They didn't spill too much of the beans that was going on with her online, but there has been a bunch of footage coming out. Now, Sue Bird spoke to the media yesterday. A couple of other coaches did, but y'all already know what we hear. We here to see CC, man. Now, there was some news that came out about Angel Reese and stuff, but we ain't really too much tripping off that. Now, someone I have not seen them post yet is Stephanie White. It's almost like Stephanie White is non-existent for this Team USA. Now, I know she's one of the coaches. I don't believe she spoke to the media, which is crazy to me because Stephanie White was on a whole media run last year. This year, I think she did like maybe a couple interviews, but overall, she's been kind of silent. I don't know what that's all.
Now let's talk about what isn't being shown. All weekend, the WNBA's official social media accounts posted Team USA practice clips. There were highlights of Angel Reese, highlights of Chelsea Gray. There was even a general post praising young players that briefly flashed CaitlinClark. But there was no dedicated CaitlinClark highlight. This is the same player who drove a 48% jump in regular season viewership. Yet the league didn't feature her on her own when she returned to the court for the first time in months. You could argue this is overanalyzing social media, but that's how the WNBA connects with fans. It's how stars are built. It's how engagement grows. So when a league's most marketable player is tucked into a montage instead of highlighted individually, it sends a message. Either the league is trying too hard to avoid favoritism, or it's intentionally pushing other players ahead of her. And honestly, neither explanation reflects well.
16-second clip. Now, some of y'all be mad when I be talking through the clips, but I got to react to what I'm seeing, so we going to let it play and I'm play it over again. Let's watch it.
This 16-second clip went up just 6 hours after practice ended. 16 seconds. And in that tiny window, you can see it all. Caitlin's shooting looks sharp, her movement is smooth, and her confidence feels fully back. But there's someone else we're not seeing enough, Stephanie White. She's one of Team USA's assistant coaches. And last season, she was head coach of the Connecticut Sun before taking over in Indiana. When she got the Fever job, she was everywhere. Interviews, media tours, promoting her vision for the team. Now, radio silence. Maybe 2 or 3 interviews since the season ended. She's barely visible at Team USA practices. It's a stark contrast to the high-profile presence she had just months ago. And you have to wonder, coaching CaitlinClark, handling the media scrutiny, and navigating all the cultural dynamics might have changed how she engages publicly.
And wanting to get better. So I think just, being in situations that have been, tough and responding really well every single time is what we can always fall back on.
How did you feel after going through whatever, to what extent you went through today?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I'm going to be day to day from here on out. And, doing everything I can to put myself in a position to play the next game every single time. You know, that's always my goal, is to be available for the next game, and doing everything I can with the medical staff to be able to get my body right, to be able to do that.
And that phrase, day to day, is one Caitlin keeps repeating when asked about her health. She's working closely with the medical staff to be ready for the next game. Being available is always her goal. But here's the context that matters. CaitlinClark played more minutes than any other WNBA player during her rookie season. She carried an offensive load that would drain a veteran, took hits and physical punishment the league failed to address, and did it all while being one of the most scrutinized athletes in women's sports. So when she says she's managing her body day to day, what she really means is her rookie season took a toll. The fatigue, and we were real. Now, she's being smart, focusing on recovery, maintenance, and building a body that can last. That's maturity. That's learning from experience. And it's exactly the kind of adjustment that separates players who burn out from those who have decade-long careers.
Before we get into the WNBA, CaitlinClark looked like herself. Go. Pass. Hayes hit her shot. Bang, bang. So right there, Caitlin's shot looked like his back, y'all. I mean, she ain't even jumping for real. Now, I don't think this was a three either. Nope, it wasn't. This looked like a mid-range shot.
Look at that release. Look at how smooth and effortless it is. The commentator keeps saying the same thing. This is the CaitlinClark from college, the version who didn't have to think about her shot, who could pull up from anywhere and trust her mechanics. Here's what that could mean for the WNBA next season. If Caitlin returns with her natural form restored, if she's had time to adjust to the speed and physicality without losing her offensive edge, and if she's learned to handle the media and cultural pressures, the league is about to see her full potential, unhindered by her own body. Her rookie season was remarkable despite every obstacle. Rookie of the Year despite the tough stretch, All-Star despite the exhaustion, playoff appearances despite the chaos. Now imagine her when she's comfortable, shots falling consistently, not carrying the full offensive load, with Stephanie White having a full training camp to design a system around her. That's the CaitlinClark the WNBA should be paying attention to. Confident, efficient, unstoppable, and fully in control. The Team USA footage is already giving glimpses of that player. Quick release, back. Confidence, back. Pure joy of playing, back. And these next few months are critical. She has time to train without game pressure, to work on conditioning without a full WNBA grind, to study film, tweak her game, and return stronger. Last season, the WNBA spent its time trying to handle the CaitlinClark phenomenon. Next season, the phenomenon returns fully ready. The league struggled with the attention CaitlinClark brought, the ratings boost, the new fans outside the traditional WNBA audience. They made questionable calls on how to market her, how to protect her, and how to balance her star power with a push to elevate other players. Here's the truth. CaitlinClark is the most important player in the WNBA right now. Not just because of her talent, though she's certainly in that conversation, but because she brings viewers. She drives ratings. She makes casual fans tune in. If the league keeps mismanaging that, downplaying her impact, spreading attention too thin, or avoiding giving her the spotlight she's earned, they'll waste the biggest opportunity women's basketball has ever had. Sophie Cunningham, being the only other WNBA player on that Google list, says it all. 2 players in the entire league generate mainstream attention. Instead of maximizing that, the WNBA acts like everyone is equally marketable. They're not. That's not how star power works, and it's not how you build a sustainable fan base. You lead with your stars. Let them pull everyone else up and create a rising tide that lifts all boats. The NBA figured this out with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. They didn't shy away from their stars. They leaned in, marketed them hard, and built global brands. The WNBA has the chance to do the same. The WNBA has an opportunity to do the same thing right now. CaitlinClark and Sophie Cunningham are showing them the way. The question is whether the league has the courage to follow it. Here's what I'll be watching next season. Will the WNBA finally market Caitlin the way she deserves? Will Stephanie White build a system that maximizes her strengths instead of forcing her to adjust? Will officials start protecting her from the kind of physical play that would be flagged in any other context? And most importantly, will Caitlin return with her Iowa-level confidence, ready to remind everyone why she was the most dominant college player ever? If the answer to all of that is yes, next season is going to be huge. Ratings will soar, attendance will climb, and the league will have to face the reality. They've been given a generational talent who could change the entire WNBA. The Team USA footage is just a sneak peek. The real story begins when the season tips off, and we see if everyone learned the lessons from year one. Drop your predictions in the comments. Are we about to see the best version of CaitlinClark, or will the league spend another year figuring out how to handle her? Subscribe and stay tuned. We'll be covering every step of this journey.